Okay, so question number 5. Glucose and other dietary monosaccharides like fructose and galactose are very soluble in water at a neutral pH. For example, over 150 grams of glucose can be dissolved in 100 milliliters of water at 25 degrees Celsius. What features of the chemical structure of glucose makes it so soluble in water? Okay, so first let's draw the structure of glucose. It's like a 5-membered carbon ring. And I'll draw all of the different side groups on glucose. We have another carbon alcohol group. And then attached to each of these carbons is an OH group. So they have different orientations. But this is the structure of glucose. So if we look at glucose, we can see that it contains a lot of polar carbon-oxygen and oxygen-hydrogen bonds. So therefore, this dissolves in water. And it also helps to remember the phrase that like dissolves like. So meaning polar substances will dissolve other polar substances. So if we were to draw the structure of water, which is H2O, you'll get something like this. So it has a bent configuration, and also oxygen is much more electronegative than our two hydrogens. So there's going to be an overall dipole moment going towards the direction of the oxygen, and this leaves the water molecule having a partially negative side and partially positive sides. So this is what makes water polar. And since glucose also contains a lot of these polar bonds, therefore it can dissolve in water. So now let's see what the junior tutor said. One of the basic principles of solubility is that like dissolves like. Water is a polar solvent consisting of hydrogen bonds, so H oxygen bonds. And if an added solute is polar and can disrupt and form new hydrogen bonding with the water molecules, the added solute can be considered soluble. Now consider the structure of glucose, fructose, and galactose shown below. So here they have the linear structures of all of these different sugars, and they highlighted all of the alcohol groups that are contained in the structures. So monosaccharides like glucose, fructose, and galactose all have several hydroxyl groups in their structure. These polyhydroxy groups can interact with the hydrogen bonding present in water, and aside from that, it makes the molecule slightly polar. Because of like dissolves like, monosaccharides like glucose become soluble in water because of their polyhydroxy groups. Yep. So this solution is correct.